Good morning, live from Swiss Gold Global, Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number 102 on this February 23rd, 2015 New Op Day. I want to say welcome to Mr. John Luyster.
Good morning. Oh gosh, we used that word morning. Both of us did. At least Paul, he used New Op Day, and as you guys know who follow Paul and I on these hangouts, we're trying to change our vocabulary in order to change our minds to be more positive, more receptive, and more open to the beauty that's in the universe and all the amazing things that are in store for all of our team members and our downline here. So welcome to Swiss Gold Global Network Marketing Training with John Luyster, the Real Wealth Advocate, and Paul Romero. And Paul, what number are we on today? Is this 103?
102.
102. Yeah, I just love the fact that we've broken 100 of these, and next thing you know, we'll be on the bicentennial. So I'm very excited to be here this morning on this wonderful New Op Day, getting into the wonderfully written and amazing business plan and system, the Own Your Life Plan book. Paul had, was I here on Friday? I feel like I missed Friday. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was here Friday, but I missed Mondays. And Mondays, New Op Days, is the day we talk about the Own Your Life Plan book. So I'm going to toss it back to you, Paul, because I wasn't able to attend last Monday's New Op Days hangout. Gosh. And get us up to speed on catch me up to speed a little bit on where we left off and do a quick review, and we can move forward.
Well, we're going to start with, did you know that when you take all the sleeping time and all the commuting time and all of the working time that you spend at work and all the time you spend running around every day doing all the things that you have to do, that at the end of the day, you've got probably 1, maybe 2 hours of your own to do the things that you like to do? And even if you did have more time to do those things, would you even have the money to do them? You want to talk about a plan, a business, a home-based business built for you to be able to own your life that is so simple that anyone can do it. It doesn't involve any selling. And the best part, doesn't take much of your time. You can actually fit it into the 1 or 2 hours that you have available each and every day to do the things that you like to do. Now, I'm guessing making money is one of the things you like to do. So why not spend your time doing that instead of in front of mindless boob tube TV? Right?
I couldn't agree with you more, and it's funny you bring up the mindless boob tube TV. We do a morning call every morning of the week with our mentor, Jeff Fagin, and it was awesome this morning because he actually kind of talked about the 20 habits of successful people, one of those being watching less TV. And it's funny that you say that because I'm someone, Paul, that believes in the law of attraction and that nothing happens by accident, that everything comes into our life more than coincidence, but because we've attracted it in our life. I say this because I needed to hear that about BoobTube, because lately I've been watching way too much BoobTube, and it's like an addiction. I've been watching The Munsters with my children. And I realized that I probably spent the last couple of days, I probably watched about 6-7 hours of TV just over the weekend, and that's not really a good thing to turn your mind off for that many hours. So the point being is that if you find yourself here on this hangout today with Paul and I to discuss the Own Your Life Plan book, you didn't come upon this meeting by accident. You're here for a reason, and that's because something, the universe, God, whatever, has a message for you, is what brought you here. And what just reminded me of that little point is what you brought up about television, because I heard it twice now today, and I felt pretty bad about myself. I woke up this morning going, man, you know, I kind of wasted some time on TV this weekend, and it's not a good success habit. But you know what a success habit?
Oh, come on. I hope we're not losing this again. I don't know. I hope we're not losing this cast here today because John just froze.
Oh, you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. You froze there for a second. I hope we're not losing this like we did Friday.
I was just saying that because you froze as well. Your network connection is experiencing difficulties. Check your connectivity. Wow, that might be on my end, Paul. So if you lose me, you'll keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, I got to admit, I'm with you there. I blew off 2.5 hours on television this week myself. But actually, watching it on the internet, I think probably actually only 2 hours instead of 2.5. So saved a little bit of time there. But, you know, the only time I watch TV is that there's a couple of television shows that I like that I'll watch when they're on. They're not on year round. Well, nothing's on year round on TV anymore. I think a season lasts like 4 episodes. But when those two shows are on, I'll watch those, you know, once a week. So that could be 2 hours a week that I'll spend watching those two shows because they usually coincide. They're on at the same time. Then they're not on, so I don't watch anything. But other than that, yeah, and I watch them online. So the commercials go by fast. The hour show goes by in like 45 minutes. So I forgot where I was going there. It doesn't matter. Anyway, getting back to the book. Enough about that mindless boob tube. Getting back to the important stuff here. Own your life, right? We talked about Chapter 7. John, you missed out on that last week, and I'm just going to do a quick recap on that. You know, Chapter 7 is all about prospecting, getting out there and launching ships, so to speak. You got to send ships out. I mean, if you're standing there on the shore, right, you send out one ship, and then you're waiting for your ship to come in, and your ship comes in and it's an empty ship. What good did it do to send it out, right? So you got to send out lots of ships. So the more you send out, the more chances you have of, you know, sure, you're going to get some empty ones to come back. You can get some silver ones to come back, but, you know, hey, you send out a bunch of ships, you get a gold ship that comes back every now and then, right? And that's what this is all about. It's prospecting. It's like just introducing people, getting people in, and the sponsoring. You know, I'm going to change that word prospecting to sponsoring, but this whole Chapter 7 was about the third-party invitation. And why would you not, you know Joe, right? Why would you not want to go up to Joe and say, hey, Joe, you want to make some extra money? Why do you think you wouldn't go to Joe and say that, John?
You know what? When it comes to introducing the business to people, I think the only reason why someone would be afraid to go up to a friend and talk about
not afraid. Why would you not want to do it? Why is that not the proper approach? To just go up to a friend and say, hey, man, I got this great thing going on. You want to earn some extra money?
Why that's not the right approach. Okay, I thought you were going the direction with people not doing that because of the fear of rejection. I think because it's almost the idea, the reason you wouldn't want to go to Joe and say, hey, Joe, are you interested in making more money, is because you want Joe to get the feeling that you're not really asking him direct. You want to place an invitation there out to Joe, but in a way that is not necessarily inviting him, but making him think, I would want to make more money. Why didn't you ask me directly? Are you getting into the idea of the third-party invitation here?
Yeah, exactly. And the real, I mean, the more deeper psychology of that is the fact that Joe doesn't want you to know that he needs more money. You know what I mean? Joe doesn't want you to know that the car's running on 3 cylinders and he can't afford to fix it. You know, Joe doesn't want to know that, you know, the kid wants to play football and he can't afford to pay for the football team. You know, and Joe doesn't want you to know that the house is ready to go to foreclosure. And people just, you know, people don't want you to know about their finances. And by you asking them directly, hey, would you like to make some extra money? Their instantaneous response is to be like, oh, nah, I'm good. You know, they might not be having any money coming in. They might just need to make money, period. But it's going to be like, you know, oh, nah, I'm fine. I'm doing good, you know. So that's really the purpose behind not by behind this third party invitation is the fact that when you introduced it as, hey, Joe, I just started this new business thing going on here a little while ago, and it's doing really well. Maybe you could help me out. And I'm looking for some people. You don't happen to know anybody that might be interested in making some extra money, right? Does that make more sense?
Absolutely. I like that. You know, a little caveat piece to that is if someone was to come up to you and ask you, hey, you wouldn't happen to know anyone that would like to make a little extra money, what are you going to think? Think about someone asking you that question. If someone asked me that, my immediate thought would be, well, I would like to make extra money. And as Paul said, you're really asking them in an indirect way, a third-party invitation. That's what the chapter 7 is all about. And just to reiterate what Paul said there is that the psychology behind it is that maybe somebody would be afraid or they don't want to act like they need extra money. Most people have kind of I guess a self-preservation, doesn't want to seem vulnerable to other people type of thing. So if I just came out and asked you, or someone came out and asked you that question directly, think about it. You might not want to respond that, oh yeah, I'd like to make some extra money, because you don't want to portray the image or the idea that maybe you don't have all the money you need. It's kind of like a status or a confidence thing. So it accomplishes that. It gets them to say, yes, I would like to, but also maybe they will think about other people that they know that might also want to make extra money. The other thing about the third-party invitation is a lot of people that are new to network marketing, because it's not about selling, are afraid of sales. So one of the psychologies behind it is for me to go out and ask Paul, if Paul's the person I'm prospecting to, hey, Paul, you don't happen to know anybody that would like to make some extra money, that it's actually easier for me also to ask Paul the question in a third-party way, because the psychology on my end is that I'm not selling to Paul, I'm not offering it to Paul, I'm seeing if Paul happens to know anybody, and it changes the psychology. It makes it easier to ask Paul. And then if Paul says, well, I like to make extra money. Why? What are you talking about? That person just invited you to offer it to them. So, I mean, there's those two ends of it here that I really like about using the third-party invitation.
That's exactly where the second part was, where I was just getting ready to take the second part. You just jumped right into it. Exactly. Is that it eliminates the second thing that's beneficial to this sort of way of sponsoring, prospecting people and getting them interested in what you're doing, is that it eliminates your fear of rejection, because they're now not rejecting you. This person is not saying no to you. You're asking them if they know somebody else, and if they say, no, I don't really know anybody, which think about it, who's really going to say that? Who doesn't actually know somebody that could use some extra money besides themselves? I mean, really. So it totally eliminates your own fear of rejection, because when if somebody did say, no, I don't know anybody that could use any extra money right now, like John says, they're not saying no to you. They're not rejecting you. You didn't ask them directly. They didn't say, no, no, thank you, I don't want your stuff. They're saying, I don't know anybody. It completely eliminates that whole thing. So it frees you up to be able to have that confidence going in of just asking a simple question. And if you want to try this out, this is a little test that and I threw this out there for over the weekend. I hope you asked a few people. It's just randomly. I was just standing in line at the grocery store, or somebody that's standing next to you. You can, with a general conversation of anything, just throw that out there. Hey, check this out. Like I wear this pin all over. It's my power pin. It's what I tell people. This is my power pin, and it reminds me, because people will ask, oh, what's your pin? And I tell them it's my power pin. It reminds me, and it tells the world that I own my life, and I can help you own yours too. And they're like, what does that mean? And so they say, and I could jump right into, well, I'm in a network marketing business, and it's really going well, and you wouldn't happen to know anybody. I said, maybe you can help me out. Maybe you can help me build my business. You don't happen to know anybody that could use some extra money, would you? And this is a good conversation starter. And so I can throw that out there, and to a random stranger, and I'm not going to be rejected by them. And it's very easy to ask that question. Oh yeah, it's a network marketing business that I started, or it's just, you don't have to put network marketing. Yeah, it's a business that it's my own personal business, and it's pretty awesome. You wouldn't happen to know anybody that could use some extra money, could you? And that's the whole thing. And when you ask these people these questions, the very interesting thing is the response that you get from them, because you can just tell. Because I did it over the weekend, probably at least a half a dozen times. But you can just tell, like John said, in their face, you can almost see that they're saying, well, I could use some extra money. Why aren't you asking me? But their response is always very general in nature. Like the one guy says, well, yeah, extra money is always great. Or no, what he said. Oh no, he says, yeah, there's always room for extra money, right? And what was my response? Yeah, just like Jello. There's always room for Jello. There's always room for extra money. So, but like I said, the response is usually very general in nature as far as something about extra money. Like, yeah, there's everybody always wants a little extra money, or this, that, or the other thing. They don't specifically say themselves. Very, very, very few people will actually say, well, actually, in actuality, I would like some extra money. But they'll make this general statement about, oh yeah, everybody wants some extra money. It's very, very funny.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Paul, because the other day, we're in a real estate business as well, and I walked into the title company to open an escrow, and I sat down with an escrow agent of ours, a gal named Gayla, and I was wearing the Own Your Life Plan pin, and she's like, what is that pin? And she got up, and she actually, grabbed my collar to look at it. She goes, Own Your Life, what is that? I'm like, owning your life, basically that means that you have the ability to spend your money and your time any way you want to. And she's like, okay, why do you wear that? And I just asked her, I said, are you familiar with network marketing? And she goes, yeah, is that like a pyramid scheme type of thing, or what is it? I've heard of network marketing. I say, well, most people outside of network 100% of the people outside of network marketing don't know what network marketing is, but you wouldn't happen to know anybody that would like to earn some extra money. And she's like, I could always use some extra money. And we didn't end up talking about network marketing, but we talked about old jobs she had and how she used to work at Costco, and then she made it to the title company. But as Paul said, it's a conversation piece. And that question of, you wouldn't happen to know anybody that would like to earn some extra money, would you? I mean, that's a great way to start a conversation. If someone asks you, if you're wearing the pin and someone asks you, what does the pin say? Oh, it's Own Your Life. It means that it basically is a statement to the world saying that I have the ability to spend my money and my time any which way that I want to. How would you like to, you wouldn't happen to know anyone that would like to own their life, would you? Are you familiar with network marketing? 100% of the people that aren't in network marketing don't understand network marketing. You wouldn't happen to know anyone that would like to earn extra money, would you? Simple. Make it a question, a third-party question, not really directed at them, but towards that possible prospect. So I think it's great that Paul is, the conversations are getting started with the pin, because it's just an amazing tool on top of just that simple question of, you wouldn't happen to know anybody that would like to earn extra money, would you? And the challenge that Paul talked about, I read this chapter so long ago, and for whatever reason, I was in the store the other day, and the idea of asking that person about extra income just occurred to me. And you know what? I forgot it was in this chapter until Paul brought it up, and I reread it to prepare for this morning's call. And the reason we talk about this book, and this is the second day now on chapter 7, is because, as we say, repetition is the mother of learning. And getting this book ingrained in your mind, you'll start to just think of things to say to people and not even know where it came from. But that's because you're literally programming your mind for success by constantly drilling into your head this system, which is why we come on these hangouts every Monday, just to talk about a different chapter from the book each week. And sometimes we'll talk about the same chapter 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, because not only are we trying to ingrain it in you guys watching these hangouts, we're trying to ingrain it in ourselves. So very cool, Paul. It sounds like Paul actually went out and took the first action steps towards doing that challenge. And I realize, as Paul being my accountability partner, that's my challenge this week. Before Monday next week, I want to be able to come back here and say, I asked that question to 10 people. You wouldn't happen to know anybody that would like to earn extra income, would you? Just invite a conversation to get started and try to work it into maybe getting their contact information or something like that. And then, you know what, Paul? If I don't know how to answer their questions and I don't know what to say next, guess what? I have my upline.
Yeah.
I call my upline. My upline gives me the answers. If I am able to make a connection with this person and get them on a call, I don't need to make that call. I can bring it to my upline. And that's another beautiful thing about the Own Your Life Plan system is if you're in the training phase of the business, you can learn while you earn, so to speak. But yeah, I'm going to toss it back to Paul to wrap it up.
Like I said, if you're brand new like that, I mean, if they've got a question for you, you haven't read the book, you don't have the general network marketing information in your head from chapter 1 that you can just throw out a couple of facts and get them kind of interested and excited. Like John says, just refer back to the, well, you know, I'm kind of new at this, and I'm learning. I'm in the training period right now, but my my upline, or I don't like using the word upline for people, because a lot of people don't understand what that is, and some people that do understand it immediately think, spin to the other thing. But you just say, hey, my mentor that's helping me get this started is more than happy to answer your questions for you. Let's set up a meeting. So anyway, with that, I wanted to redo this chapter 7 because we did it last Monday. John was absent for that. You guys were probably here but didn't really get it all, so I wanted to put this back in front of you a second time, because going out there and launching ships, this is what this is all about. Asking this question is launching ships, getting people interested, talking about the network marketing, and boom, you get them, get them to the next step of talking to somebody else, or get them signing up, or whatever the case is, and launching a ship. That's what it's all about. That's what network marketing is. That's as hard as you work all day long. And with that, I'm going to end this with the Napoleon Hill prayer, which says, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire." And I'm reissuing the challenge. Ask that question. I like John's number 10 times between now and next Monday, and we'll do a very quick review of some of those results and move into chapter 8 next New Op Day. All right, that's it. Say bye, John.
Goodbye, everybody.